And big breaking news that's coming in this morning. BJP President JP Nadda has written an open letter to the citizens of India. BJP has in fact fired a big counter to the charges leveled by the opposition with regards to the violence and riots and clashes that have broken out in the last few days in the country. Nadda has hit back, calling out vote bank and divisive politics. He's rebutted the charge that's been leveled by 13 opposition parties over communal violence that's broken out in different parts of the country. Nadda, in response, has raised what's happened in Karoli in Rajasthan, in Bengal, as well as the political killings that have been reported in Kerala. So detailed counter there by the BJP chief, who's hit back at the opposition, who raised questions over the incidents of riots and clashes that have been reported in parts of the country. The BJP chief has put the onus on the opposition, saying they are continuing to go ahead and propagate divisive politics. He's also lashed out at them by reminding them of what's happened in Karoli in Rajasthan, in Bengal and in Kerala. We'll be connecting with our reporters in just a bit to get you details of exactly what the BJP chief has said. In a detailed two-page letter there, he's responded to opposition parties who had in fact blamed the BJP for all the incidents of communal violence that have been reported in the last many weeks across the country. 13 opposition parties had come together to shoot off a letter in which they pinned the blame on the BJP. JP Nadda now has responded to that in an open letter to the citizens of India. He's listed incidents of communal violence, pinning the blame on the opposition. He's appealed to the opposition to embrace politics of development. And there are three particular instances that JP Nadda has mentioned in his letter there. Karoli in Rajasthan, where we saw clashes breaking out a few weeks ago, in Bengal, as well as the Kerala political violence. In fact, just yesterday, the BJP chief, who is in Karnataka, spoke out on these incidents and again blamed the opposition. Listen to what he said.
मुझे दुख के साथ कहना पड़ता है कि आज कांग्रेस पार्टी इज बिहेविंग इन द मोस्ट इररिस्पांसिबल मैनर। और मैं ये पूछना चाहूंगा कि क्या पीएफआई के लोगों को जो ऑन बुक्स लाए गए थे उनको छुड़ाने का काम सिद्धारमैया ने किया था कि नहीं किया था, इसकी जनता, कर्नाटक की जनता जवाब चाहती है। आतंकवाद के खिलाफ बोलते हो और आतंकवादियों को छोड़ते हो, अंदर से दोस्ती रखते हो और बाहर मुखौटा लेकर के चलते हो।
So that was a message from JP Nadda, particularly referring and lashing out to the Congress over the Popular Front of India. Paulami Saha is joining us on this broadcast with more details of exactly what the BJP chief has said in his letter. Paulami, JP Nadda's two-page letter there, making a mention of several instances of violence, of clashes that have been reported in opposition-ruled states to essentially respond to those 13 parties who blamed the BJP for the communal violence that's been reported in the country.
That's right. It is an open letter which Mr. JP Nadda, the BJP president, has written to fellow Indians, just like the opposition parties who wrote an open letter on Saturday to fellow Indians saying that the BJP was stoking communal passions across the country, that an environment of hate was in fact being instigated in the country, and for that the BJP, the centre, is responsible and the Prime Minister's silence is for all to see. That is what the opposition parties, leaders of 13 opposition parties in fact had written in an open letter to fellow Indians. Now Mr. JP Nadda has responded to those charges again in an open letter, saying that these are the political parties that have been playing vote bank politics, divisive politics and petty politics, as he calls it, for a very, very long time. He's of course referring to past incidents of communal tensions and riots, be it in Bhiwandi, be it in Hooghly, be it in Muzaffarnagar in 2013 or in Assam in 2012. He's referred to various incidents and said who was responsible for these incidents and who was at the center when these incidents occurred. So clearly this, he says, it has been rejected by the country which has been voting for the Bharatiya Janta Party at the center since 2014, has rejected this politics, and it would be in the best interest of these opposition parties who says are dusted and rusted right now to in fact focus on development and politics as opposed to this kind of divisive politics, as he alleges. And he also of course says they've come together to write a letter. We do not know if it's in spirit as well, of course taking a jibe at them, saying we'll see if they can in fact forge an alliance, because that doesn't look likely.
Okay, Paulami, we'll track the reactions that come in from the opposition to the BJP chief's open letter there. Thank you for joining us with all the highlights of what JP Nadda has had to say. Now, even as the